What's going on, everybody? I'm Jellyfish, and I am joined here with Jer Bear for Pentakill Season 4 All-Stars Game 2. And it looks like we changed the way that this game is going to be played. Jer, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So initially we were gonna go with what everyone voted for because that was the original plan and it made sense. But we then realized that because we're subbing out Sir Blackfish, it kind of messes with all of the order of where people are going and stuff like that because Moch is a support player, and not a top lane player. And so instead we are just gonna do two schoolyard drafts. This one is a schoolyard draft by the two highest ranked players, and I believe the last one is going to be schoolyard draft by the two highest voted players. So this was Team 1 Captain Belth, Team 2 Captain Moch. Um, and they ended up just picking teams going back and forth.
All right, and I do want to mention thank you for your patience during our last game during those technical difficulties. Hopefully, they will be resolved. Hopefully, everything sounds okay for this game. We went ahead and switched things up a little bit. But you can see some picks and bans coming through here. So, bans on the Yasuo. We have a Shen ban, and we also have some other bans up here. You want to talk a little bit about that, Jer?
Yeah, we got the Seraphine, the classic Draven ban for Vol, Akshan ban for Tall Handsome Top, not a surprise there. Camille ban, interesting. That is like the backup when Akshan gets banned for Tall Handsome Top. So throwing two bans his way, as well as the one trick for Vol. And of course, Aya's one trick Yasuo. He is now in the mid lane, so this time they got to pick their positions. So we see a little bit more of a standard lineup out of everyone. And then Seraphine, of course, probably among the most hated champs in the league right now. To play against, not wanting to see Kev pick that up.
And the draft picks are a little out of order here on the screen compared to what was actually drafted. So Hecarim, or I'm sorry, Ziggs, I think went first to blue. Hecarim and Senna then went to red. Hecarim is really strong this patch, and Depression Mean has played Hecarim a good bit, so I'm not surprised by that pick. Zed then went to Aya, and the third pick for blue was Pyke for Belth. Excited to see Aya on this Zed again. He did really well last game, so I'm glad that he's pulling it out in mid. And then we saw Kai'Sa go to Vol and Gwen go to Tall Handsome Top, and then Sejuani pick on Twin Top, and then Trundle for Invisza. So that was the pick order going into this game.
Yep. Yeah, should be an interesting one. I think Vex pretty good into Zed. You've got the extra shielding so you don't get burst. As soon as Zed pops on you, you immediately fear him. So getting that counter pick mid, I don't know if Zed, if Aya's gonna have as easy of a game this time around. But you know, if he gets rolling, he's the kind of guy to just take over a game if he gets ahead. So should see some interesting stuff mid. Yeah, Hecarim pick. Like we haven't really seen it much this season. It was a pretty staple pick last season. I feel like it was big in season 3, but kind of stayed fairly dormant. We saw maybe a game or two of it this season. But yeah, latest patch, a little bit stronger, and Pressure Main's gonna pull that out. So excited to see what he can do with those like big playmaking junglers there. Speaking of playmaking, Pyke on Balthazar 666 should be quite interesting. Pyke Ziggs, what an interesting bot lane. That's one of those things where it could kind of flop, or it could just be such a pain to deal with, and they both pop off and take over the game. So that's where I think a lot of my focus is going to be, is if those two can get this game rolling, or if Moch and Vol both playing their actual roles can pull out kind of a more standard lane here.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of comments from people that are excited to see this playoffs game, and hopefully we will be streaming that soon. I think it's just the order of how things happened with All Star starting before that game that we just kind of rolled with the All Star games. But for anyone that's looking forward to that game, we appreciate your interest in the league and your excitement for it, and hopefully it will be streamed as well.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get to the BPM versus Zon Underground game for sure. That one's a few teams I think playoff hopes are riding on that one, and we could end up with a very interesting. I think if BPM win, it's kind of the more boring outcome in that playoffs are settled. BPM make it in seventh. BCR, I believe, have the tiebreakers against the other teams with 4 wins. So then playoffs is just settled. If Zon Underground win, then we've got a uh, 3 or 4 way tie for seventh. And because the teams have kind of different wins and losses against each other, it just ends up being a 4-team playoff where the top 2 teams come out ahead, and we end up with a bunch of like interesting kind of scrim games and stuff like that. So if you're a fan of League of Legends, you just want to see more games. That's where you're rooting. But I know there's also a lot of fans of Friday Natty Daddy on BPM, and they just want to see him do well too. Kind of a later addition to the league who's come in and kind of shown his stuff, pulling out some interesting stuff. I think he started with a Garen mid game or something like that, and went like 10-0. So uh, definitely an interesting player to keep an eye on. But about to get into this game, which is All Star Game 2.
All right, and it looks like we are loading in. Which lane are you most excited for going into this game?
I mean, it's got to be bot lane. I'm just curious to see what happens there. But should be interesting. Top as well. Twin versus Tall Handsome Top. Um, Tall Handsome Top not getting to play his one trick, and Twin getting to play his patented Sejuani Top, which I believe he's the only person who pulled that out. I don't know if you got the in-game chat, but a little bit of banter again this time. Let's see if that banter ends up leaving someone alone and vulnerable to another level 1 kill, but looks like a more tame start to this one so far.
All right, it looks like we're all set up.
Where are your eyes going for the beginning of this game?
So I'm really excited about this. Ooh, and it looks like
Val
gotta pull in a Niner in there. Niner's gonna walk out. He's gonna ward and walk out there. I'm really excited for this bot lane. I mean, we have Kev and Belt that have a lot of synergy. I mean, years being best friends and playing together. But then we have Vol and Moch, who are 2 of the strongest, I mean, AD and supports in the league. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that matchup.
Yeah, it should be definitely interesting. Also, just to see, we've got 2 captains jungling here. Should see some good early map movements and things too. Invisa likes to get lanes snowballing. Depression main likes to go for early objectives. So we'll see how those 2 kind of styles clash.
And you see some fun, playful banter in the top lane already, throwing some emotes up.
Yep. Followed, of course, by Punchies, the classic top v top smack enemy champion duel. For any friends at home playing the drinking game, that is take a sip anytime you hear the word Punchies. We are not responsible for any over drinking or anything like that. Please drink responsibly.
And it looks like Kev throwing some punchies at Motion Ball there. Doing a little bit of damage with those Qs.
Yeah, punching in the form of launched explosives, as Ziggs does. But overall, pretty even. We see, interestingly, Talon's in top last time around started off with a pretty early lead in CS, but it's going the other way around, where Twin has that early matchup for sure. Sejuani is just an absolute bully pretty much for the whole game. Just a pretty safe and strong laner. But Gwen has that late game scaling where eventually just heals far too much for Sedge to ever really have kill potential. So interesting to see how that goes. If Talons and top can kind of stave out that early aggression and end up kind of scaling up to the late game, or if Twin's able to kind of snowball it Looks like Depression Main coming towards this top lane might start to see some early action there. Swin is pushed up pretty heavily, but does have a ward in Tribush.
And it looks like things are going pretty even so far, but we do see Hecarim has a full clear. And Invisa's still working on his blue. He runs over to Scuttle. I don't know if Trundle typically clears that slow, but...
Yeah, he chooses to go for the Krugs as we see some action bot onto Kev. Vol chasing him down. Ignite onto Vol. Doesn't have that last auto. As they also get Belth's Flash out of there, as well as all the summoners bot lane other than Kev's teleport come out. Moach still holding onto that heal. So a slight win for red side. And it's onto Ziggs, who can farm pretty well from far away. But definitely a good early start for red. I think we gotta get some team names up here. The draft teams they went with were some guys on blue and all hot chicks on red. Should we roll with that, or are we just gonna go with colors?
I'm good either way. I feel like I'll probably be calling colors because I might forget. But if you want to roll with it, you roll with it.
I'll see if I remember. But we do have some more banner and chat going off here, stuff like that. Yeah, pretty steady early game. I mean, just looking up lane by lane, pretty even. Small CS lead mid, small CS lead bot. But overall, pretty even game.
And we're seeing Tally Handsome top, aggressing Sejuani a good bit top. Just pushed that wave in and got a little bit of extra damage off on Twin before backing.
Yeah, it does now have a few more levels and is able to kind of equalize that CS diff. The early levels in Snip Snip, doing that true damage, able to kind of start matching with this Sejuani now.
Yeah, the gold is very even across the board right now. I mean, as a team and also just player to player.
Yeah, exactly. So you see Talisman top, maybe even a little bit more top, just punchies all around again. This time forcing Twin out as he's now down boots. The early cooldown reduction boots onto Gwen, interesting pickup there. Wants, I guess, the cooldown on the percent damage and healing over the magic pen.
We see Hecarim coming top for a gank, but he is a little bit late. Twin does get that back off. And we see Nine Rain is now level 6. In the bot lane, we have Belth and Kev pushing up. Invisa was able to sneak into that bush. Vol and Moach have no idea that he's there. He gets off the pillar. Belth gets the stun onto Moach. And Moach is going to go down here. Will they get Vol too?
Oh, they almost kind of under attack him, and it does require Invisa to flash Q to get that last hit. They were kind of getting greedy trying to get both there, and it does end up costing them the flash, but they get the kill. So at the end of the day, even if you have to spend the extra flash, happy to get the kill. Great early gank is that's first blood for the game.
We love to see those sneaky kills, and we see Belth here roaming into the mid lane.
Yeah, Invisa's here again too. Gets the pillar into 9 Rain. Great pillar. He's gonna have to walk around that and does flash. As he's kind of taken down to the Ignite, able to live, but does have to spend both of his summoners.
And meanwhile,
the exhaust mid on Dex. But
meanwhile, we have
bot.
Kev and Vol dueling bot, but Moach gets there in time to catch Kev for that kill.
Yeah, overstaying a little bit, thinking he could maybe outplay Vol, but it's pretty tough. It's hard to hit those skill shots onto Kai'Sa, who can move around so fast. Doesn't even need to spend his exhaust, able to just 1v1 Kev, especially with Moach coming in with those last second heals. So it's good. Invisa potentially hiding bot again, trying for a repeat gank, but does end up leaving. I think, oh no, they might see something here.
He's gonna catch Vol with another pillar. Vol just did not see it coming at all. Vol was trying to back. We have Belth coming in as well. They're starting Dragon now that bot is dead.
Yeah, we have top as well. Twin goes down to Tall Handsome top, just chases him down with the scissors and is able to take him out. Yeah, kind of disrespectful back there from Vol. I mean, even just into Ziggs, right? Like, you gotta respect the poke from Ziggs being able to just hit you from pretty far away. And that is going to net a free dragon over the blue. Aya low in the mid lane as the pressure main comes in. He also stopped
Ooh.
the but that cooldown's still up as he does just run him over, literally and figuratively, in the mid lane.
And I feel like Vex's early laning phase, I might be wrong, I feel like is her weakest phase. And now that she's, post 6, I feel like we're really going to start to see Vex with some more map pressure, getting some good ults off, and starting to do a lot more damage as she's getting that first item. And she's really behind on the buy right now, but she is backing with 1,500 gold.
Yeah,
so that's gonna be that last chapter.
Should be good kind of ability to equalize the gold there. Yeah, Vex and Zed similar in that way, right? They're not really super potent until they hit 6, and then as soon as they hit 6, they're immediately way more deadly. And because of that, I think Vex pretty good counter pick into the Zed, because you don't really have to worry about Zed until 6, and then once you hit 6 on Vex, you're already online yourself. And I think Roam's a little bit better, just because you've got those long range ults if you can hit him.
And I feel like if you hold that W on Vex, if you get the engage from the Zed, you get the, or if Zed engages with his ult, you get the fear off, I feel like it's a little bit safer.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely kind of just stop that all in from Zed, able to kill a lot of squishier champions, but with the fear and with the shield from Vex W.
And the exhaust too.
Yeah, interesting pickup, right? Usually you'd see the
ignite or TPF, I feel like.
But is able to hit that. Tonsum top kind of exerting this pressure top lane, but still even in CS, even with that earlier kill. As we see a bit more punches in the top lane. Hecarim was thinking about maybe coming in for a gank, but he leaves, and just in time for Invisity to show up. So unfortunate timing there. They're likely to get Tonsum top. The question is, does he get the return kill on a twin? And he does not. So able to pick up the kill there. It does go on the Trundle, so 2 early kills for him. He's doing quite well, even though Hecarim's farming a little faster. 2 things. 1, he's picked up a couple kills, and he now has the Tiamat, which is really when Trundle starts being able to farm reasonably fast now that he's got those AoE auto attacks.
And I feel like we've seen so many just lane changing pillars coming from Trundle so far. We see some aggro in the bot lane.
Yeah, Balthazar goes in onto Moach. Moach does have to flash away. Ult comes back out of him, and Belf is quite low. Does go down to Vol, who then ults onto Kev, and a double kill for him. Big turnaround. While Invisible went top, the Hecarim returns and comes down bot lane to help secure those 2 kills, and they're pretty happy with that. Should see some early tower damage out of it. Invisa calls for the Herald as a trade-off, but is met with some resistance from top lane, as Sejuani is just back there, so not able to get that yet. But we see the teleport top, so we might see them try to do something there. No, it looks like they're just gonna go back to laning, so Red able to get that clean.
We saw some good plates going to Vol and Moach in the bot lane. Valip has roamed mid. But it looks like Vex got the back off.
It is another level 6, so starting to see him roaming around a little bit. Zig's very good at just solo laning if he needs to. He can just sit back and farm, especially now that he's got a few levels on that queue. So able to just sort of stay safe, and Belf likes to do those map movements, tricky plays, make things happen on the map. So we'll see if they're able to kind of capitalize on that. Looks like the first order of business is this Rift Herald, but it looks like it might get contested here. Belf runs in, tries to get the stun onto Tonsum top, but he dashes over that and the pillar. Both of those cooldowns go down, and oh, the reset on Herald. Man, just from a quarter all the way back to full. They would have definitely had it if it didn't heal up. I don't know if Red saw the healing. I think they had resigned themselves to giving it up, and they are now wondering what's taking so long.
Oh, we see Red side trying to catch Kev here.
Yeah, a good leap there. Does get him out of danger as he turns around, but Moach and Irene both able to avoid those Qs. And they're going to change their focus from people to this mid tower, it looks like. When you've got that Ziggs, often just looking for early tower pushes, get the early gold lead, and they did pick up that Rift Herald, so putting it right mid, gonna pick up some plates at least here. And if it goes low enough, they do have the bomb, so not quite low enough for Ziggs to finish it off. As they get some damage onto Nirain here. He does have ult. He could look for Invisa if he wanted to, but the Pyke is over here now as Sejuani, so.
And it looks like Invisa is going to look for this dragon. He's kind of roaming down, getting some vision on that.
Yeah, now that they've kind of pulled everyone towards that mid lane.
They did see that Hecarim back, and Hecarim backing is that sign to go ahead and start and secure that dragon.
Yeah, should be free. Not going to get contested by red side, so they'll pick up dragon, they'll pick up the scuttle here. And red not really able to get much else. They get a little bit of pressure top lane, but CS still pretty even there overall. But we'll start to see. We see mythics in the game now as red putting that 2k gold advantage towards a couple items. Only with a mythic on the other side, so maybe now that they've got kind of 3-to-1 mythic advantage, we'll see some fighting at a red side.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Red giving up so many objectives when they do have the gold lead right now. Vol is pretty strong. I mean, Vol is up about 1,500 gold on Kev on Ziggs, so I'm really excited to see Vol kind of leveraging that advantage. We also have Senna up about 1,100 gold as well.
Yeah, looks like they'll start by just switching the lanes over. Bot tower's gone, so they're going to put their strong AD carry to the top lane, try and push down that top tower, it looks like.
And I feel like typically in this circumstance, I mean, we usually see AD carry rotating mid, applying a little bit of mid pressure. Why do you think they called for AD top here?
It could be that they just don't want to deal with the Ziggs. As they do just blow up Nirain. Maybe that's why. That's why right there.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, looks like Aya is going to be the one to meet Vol, and they actually do have Moch roaming around, so he goes mid to kind of try and stop this from going down, but I would expect this to drop here. You've got the bomb from Ziggs, so this should go down any second, yeah. Pillar onto Moch, but just a little too far away, not able to get the knock up on him, and he ends up on the other side of it, so he'll be safe. Looks like maybe bot lane action here, as we do have some punchies from Twin onto Tall Handsome top, but I think he'll just be fine to farm up under tower here.
And it's cool to see these level differences too. I mean, we see Kev with a level lead on Vol here, level 10 to level 9, and I feel like AP carries typically do better with a level advantage, you know, really helps to level up those abilities. And AD carries, I feel like, better utilize the gold advantage, so it's cool to see the level advantage on Kev. And I feel like that's largely due to Belth roaming so much in this game in order to give Kev the opportunity to take that farm.
Yeah.
So they're really sacrificing a lot on Pyke so that they can help Kev to level up.
Yeah, Pyke doesn't really need levels a whole lot, right? He's looking, I mean, obviously you want to get the higher level ultimates and things like that, but as soon as you've got level 6 on Pyke, you can kind of do what you want to do. You do want to get that first item, I forget the actual name, but the one that lets you see the words. It's a big pickup on Pyke when you're roaming around so much. You just get the free kind of sweepers onto any wards that you run past, and when you're running around constantly, it just makes such a big difference with vision. Right now vision score pretty even, but once it gets that online, interested to see how that kind of ends up impacting the vision score and overall like what they can do on the map. But speaking of things on the map, we got Depression Main potentially going on Twin here. But Twin just gets out of there as soon as he sees him on that ward, as it looks like a
dive
Stern bot lane
here on Tall Handsome top in the bot lane. Belth is going to go in, pull some of that aggro, and Aya's just going to go in and ult him, and he goes down.
Yeah, probably. Oh, Aya picks up tower aggro here. Oh, Moch tries to hit him with the ult, but just barely misses. And yeah, a bit of an unfortunate. I think he was expecting that aggro to go back to Invisa as he was walking out, but kind of gets hit with the just like the bad timing on that and almost goes down. Looks like they'll try to trade mid, but Invisa here to counter, and we've got Twin coming from the other side as well, so I think this is going to be tough for both of these. They get the slow from the pillar, but no knock-up. Twin still has that ultimate.
And there it comes
does
out.
throw it over here at Moch. He goes down, 9rain jumps in with the ult on Vex as well, but just does not have the damage. These are like 3 pretty tanky members. And Invisi's just chasing him down. He's quite strong. Pillar comes up again. He's chasing him down. Here comes Tall Hen from top, though. He's got a lot of damage. He's got the percent on the tanky members. Invis is so low, just does not drop. Same with Belf, just living with such little hit points. So unfortunate. They needed a couple of those to work, I think. Because there's shutdowns on a couple of those members. If they got Belf or the Trundle, those are shutdowns on both. But not able to pick up either of them, and that's pretty brutal. Immediately changes that over to Herald.
And it's crazy to see how a gold disadvantage on the blue team turned into a 4K gold lead, or 3K gold lead just after that fight alone. They're going to pick up that Rift Herald, and then they're also going to set up and pick up that Dragon.
Yeah, the dive and then immediately this other fight. It looks like Kev's probably gonna get down here. Yep. Overstand. You can see the tower in bomb range. You've got the little icon above the tower showing that it's within bomb range, and Kev, I guess he didn't have the cooldown up. That's unfortunate. He greeted for that tower a little bit, does get punished. And the tower stands, so I'm sure he'll come by to just throw a bomb at that later. But for now, loses his life. A little bit of an overstay.
And it looks like this game is really turning in favor of blue team, and it's sad to see because red team had a gold advantage all the way leading up to nearly that last fight. But blue team has just been doing a really good job of pushing their map advantages, you know, taking down towers across the map and taking good fights.
Yeah, definitely. That's what you want to do when you get a Ziggs comp. You've got kind of those strong individual players. You've got decent team fighting. You've got the pick. So you can just aggress towers, and I think you want to end the game early. You've got the Ziggs for late game, so you can extend the game if you need to. Sejuani's pretty good late, Charles pretty good late, but you're dealing with Vex, Senna, the Gwen. Like, there's a lot of good late game, and of course, your Kai'Sa as well. So I think if you're red side here, you're trying to stall this game out as long as you can, get to late game, and then just start, you know, getting all those hard carries online.
And I will say, speaking of Vex, it's interesting to see. I think the Dark Seal was an early buy from him, but the Seeker's Arms Guard to try to stay alive, I guess, against the Zed, and I mean, really just the Zed ult, the Seeker's Arms Guard on Vex.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like she really needs
likely to build into. It's gonna probably build into. Oh, here comes Vol. You've got the dive from both Vol and the Vex as they do shut down the Pike, and also get a kill onto Kev on this Ziggs as well. So a good follow-up from them. Just now realizing the synergy as we see Vex chasing down again. Those double dive-in ultimates from Kai'Sa and Vex coming in there.
And meanwhile, blue team's losing that fight, but Io dropped that Rift Herald. It's pushing down bot, and that's going to be Baron to the red team, it looks like.
I mean, it's contestable. Depression Main is low. Twin could come in here. He's pretty tanky, and Invis is here as well. Looking to contest. Depression Main wants to go for the objective. He wants the smite fight, but he has to smite early. And now they don't have smite. So they just lose the Baron, and they're going to lose everything here as they just get run over.
Wow.
Fallen on top shows up late, but the entire enemy team is there.
And they're just going to take it down.
That's brutal. They're gonna lose, you know, even with short timers. Probably an inhib in the mid lane here with this Baron buff.
And
yeah, making the play there, but
to try to take bot as well.
Yeah, with the you know, Baron buff from both lanes, they're gonna get at least both these towers. Everyone's responding in about 5 seconds. They'll get mid inhib for sure. I think they'll get bottom as well, honestly. At least the tower. They're gonna stay here. The whole team's up, so they could get punished. 9rain comes in, gets a big fear, does get that Zhonya's off. Kev immediately dies. They're back here onto 9rain as they do have their tanky members just beating him down, but the rest of their team is now chasing them. There's not a lot of cooldowns left. Ult coming back up for Twin just now, I believe, so they might be able to turn here. Aya jumps in, tries to get onto ball, but just gets killed immediately. but does manage to kind of stall out for the rest of his team to get out. So was trying to get maybe a cheeky, burst kill onto Vol or something there on the way out, but does die, but at least saves his other members from getting chased down alongside him. So
And that overstay
overall
alone, I mean, put an additional 2k into Vol's pocket here, you can see.
yeah, the shutdowns are big. If they can get a kill on Inviza here, that'd be pretty massive, but he's still unkilled so far this game. But they lose 2 inhibs for it, so yeah, it's a bit of an overstay. I think maybe, I don't know if you needed that second inhib, but now that you've got 2 inhibs, like, the game control is kind of yours, right? You've got Dragon coming up here, everyone's back alive in time for that, no problem. So, probably gonna need to force a fight if you're red here to try and stop them from getting this soul.
And it looks like that's exactly what they're trying to do. Vol's coming up. They've got their whole team here around this drag. And I wouldn't say that was an ideal back there from Pyke, because it looks like a fight might break out a little early. If they notice that Pyke has gone in that Ziggs' top, they really might pressure for something. But it looks like Blue is instead just going to pressure these lanes and try to force them back to base with that Baron buff.
Yeah, good kind of call here. They leave their jungler on Dragon, so they can just take the Dragon if they need it. We do see maybe Vex coming in here onto the Sejuani, but so tanky. Does switch over to the Zed. He ults, but he just goes down. We've got the ult coming in from Kev in the top lane, but he doesn't want this fight. He wants the towers. And I think he's going to try and push top as they get now onto Twin, Tauntsim top, and Belth kind of duking it out in the jungle. But I think they're just stalling, right? Like
they are. The tower's going down. I mean...
They get the objective bounty. Invis onto Vol here. Vol's quite low and Invis is quite big, but he does have the stopwatch. That might be enough for Invis to go down, but he has the flash and is able to chase him down. They're chasing down Invis, but meanwhile, top lane is going down. I think they'll get Invis. They'll probably get the gold here. I don't know if he'll turn and get the kill under depression. I mean, he doesn't, but the top lane tower goes down. Twin chasing now. Moch here trying to defend. Does manage to dodge the hook, and between Tall Handsome Top and him, I think they're able to stave off the onslaught onto this inhib for now, but they're going to keep pushing. Kind of an important one. If they get this, they'll have all the inhibs down, so trying to buy time for the rest of their team coming in through bot lane. Looks like they're going to be able to do that. Yeah, they'll hold them off, so even though Kev's going to stay here, keep pushing the lane, I don't think they're going to be able to get on the inhib. They know they need to defend that. So overall, pretty even, actually. It looks like the end net result of that is pretty even amount of gold. They get the tower. They do manage to get the objective bounty for Dragon, as Aya maybe caught out here. Does not get hit by the W, which is good because he'd have that oh no, she doesn't have the ult up on Kai'Sa, so would be fine anyway. Does manage to get out of there, but a bit dangerous. That's kind of the only way you throw this game if you're blue side now, right?
Yeah, and it's great to see a couple of kills going on to red, a couple of bounties going towards them, but at the same time, they've lost so much map pressure with the 2 inhibitors down, the turret down, the inhibitor turret down as well. I mean, it's just a balancing act now between trying to look for these picks and also trying to defend their base that's kind of falling apart at this stage.
Yeah, definitely. It's, you're dealing with just a lot of wave clear from the blue side. Any objective that comes up, you're gonna always have to kind of do the trade-off of, do you defend your base or do you take the objective? If it was the other way around, you might be okay because you have, like, the Ziggs wave clear and stuff like that, and you've got decent wave clear on the red side between the Vex does trying to go with the ult. Maybe trolled a little bit by Depression Main, who knocks Aya out of the way, but he's going in. Moch ults in, Vol ults in.
And this looks like a great fight. Trundle is pushing in top.
Yeah, so immediately they see that.
Ziggs is rotating bot. They know that Ziggs is there. Trundle's leaving the top lane now. They're looking to see if they can catch him, and they might.
Yeah. They might be able to. The pillar comes on, but doesn't really do anything. They're fighting Invis here. Vol's big and is able to get on. Oh man.
Twin is coming
the damage
around.
from Invis
is there now.
But they do take him down. That's his second death and another shutdown onto him. 100% critical participation right now on the Trundle. 5, 2, and 12. With him down, I don't know if we'll see Blue continue to push here, as all the inhibs come back up as well. So a very important kill that really just stops the aggression from blue side. Baron is kind of the next objective that's up. If they can get Baron, then it's probably what they're going to need to be able to end this game. But they don't have their jungler up, and so, you know, if Red can shove out all these lanes in time, they'll probably be able to contest it.
And Red is hanging on by a thread, but Vol is that thread. He now has the most gold in the game right now. He's very strong.
Yeah, almost full build, only has 1 item left. Is able to shred even in Invisza, who's, you know, quite tanky. And next, oh, they catch High Ariana Wall here. Big ult from Nine Rain.
The ult up. He might look for Belth here if Belth shows.
Yeah, they don't have the wards on that side, but he does throw it out just into the enemy jungler. Invisza's here. They jump onto him. They're just gonna try and chase down Invisza. If they can get him, then they're in bad shape. He tries to smite the heal, but doesn't get it. Taunts top and Aya dueling it out on the side. Taunts top does get the kill, but the return kill from the ult does kill Taunts top as well. So 1 for 1 there.
I mean, that was a great fight for Red. You see 3 went down from Blue. They're now able to secure this dragon. No smite from the enemy team because Invisza doesn't get up for 30 more seconds. Twin and Belth are gonna try to zone, but they just can't do anything. They don't have smite.
There's no smite.
They don't have smite. But they do.
Man, they just trickle it down, but unfortunately, I mean, it's Pyke, right? You really can't do any. Oh wow, Vol just blows him up.
Now
it's Pyke. Your only damage from range is a Q that hits the first thing it hits. Kev almost blows up Vol.
Kev was waiting for that. He's looking for it. Vol's got to get out of there, but that next drag is up. And that's still soul point. That's still a bounty if it goes to Red. I mean, this dragon is so important. Blue is rushing to get there. Vol and Tall Handsome Top on their way too, but this fight in the mid lane is going down. In the meantime, Depression Main dives Twin and Kev, and Depression Main goes down from the tower shots. Aya's here now with ult.
Nine Rain, they just blow him up. They really needed that ult from Nine Rain to hit to do the follow up. They thought maybe with the AoE fear they'd be able to hit it, but just barely misses. And without the follow up from Vex to do the extra damage, they weren't able to get anything happening there, and do go down. So most likely we'll see Dragon Soul go over to the blue side here. Vol trying to get a cheeky W, but he might get. Oh my god, he just goes in. That's something. Flashes away from Invisza, but I don't know if he can fight this out. Telber comes in. I mean, they know that if he dies, it's probably the game. But Vol able to kite it out. He is strong enough to stave off Invisza, and the rest of the team. They just decide, okay, look, the only way we lose this now is if we hard hint into trying to kill Vol. But I don't know, man. Like it's a pretty even game. Gold maybe what 2k in Blue's favor now. They have the soul. The base is in shambles, but Vol is scary.
He is, and I feel like Vol is notorious in the league for knowing how to play when he's scary. I mean, he really leverages his gold advantage. When Vol's behind, I mean, he can't do anything, but when Vol's ahead, Vol can carry a team.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a strong late game team fight player. Knows kind of how to position and knows his limits. So, you know, we saw it in the last fight when he just dove into Dragon and almost killed Kev and got out. He did lose his flash for it, but was kind of able to, you know, stay safe. So should be very interesting. Now next fight won't have flash, so we'll see if they're able to get onto him. Aya is big enough now that he can blow him up, so very scary with the range damage coming out of the Ziggs and just the burst potential from Zed and the rest of the team.
And unfortunately, the longer the game gets, too, I mean, one bad fight and Red loses the game here with the death timers kind of increasing as time goes on.
Yeah,
and Vol
Aya does get onto Vol. That's the GA actually popped out of him, so does die to, I believe it was the pop from the Zed ult. So Vol's alive still. Oh, Nine Rain, big ult! Catches most of the team. Vol jumps in on top, taunts on top, and Invisza duking out. They do get Vol! Depression Main comes in now, Twin running away, Invisza running away, Belth trying to do something off the side here, but he's just Pyke, he's not doing a lot. most of the damage is gone. Overall, they lose their AD carry, but I think that's an overall victory for Red side, and they're now pushing down mid tower. They're just tanking it. Tall Handsome Top saying, "Screw it, I'll just, this doesn't have enough health left on it for me to have to care about
the
it."
minions.
Yeah, exactly. Belt's trying to do maybe some sneaky plays here, but only level 11 this late in the game, doesn't have too much in the way of items and stuff like that. I don't know if he's going to be able to get anything, but does get some good deep wards. So hopefully looking for a play there, but very, very close game so far. Next objective is a Baron in about a minute and 45, so we'll see if that ends up leading to anything, but we could just see the two teams go at it at any point here.
And it's crazy to see a team that was down 10k at around 15 minutes, and now, I mean, is nearly even in gold.
Yeah, crawling their way back into it, and they do, I think, have the better late game team, but you've always got to worry about just structures going down. You've got the Trundle damage on structures, you've got the Ziggs damage for structures, and you've got pretty decent pick potential with the Pike and the Zed, so...
And the objectives,
it's just scary.
too. I feel like when Elder comes up, Elder is going to be scary as well, because if that team gets Elder blue side, Vol just goes down, and then they don't have as much to protect themselves. And it looks like they're looking for a fight here. This might be the 5v5.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, ults to look for. We've got 9rain if he can jump in. Oh, that's Vol's W. That's going to be the big one that really starts it off most of the time.
9rain is looking for this positioning, trying to get around, trying to get a big ult and fear off. You can see he's
so
waiting
far,
for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can only take so much Ziggs poke this late in the game, right? Before you start worrying about losing your objectives. Here comes 9rain. He gets onto Invisa. They're looking for Kev. They do get onto him, but he does have the stopwatch, and 9rain's gonna have to flash out of there. Depression Main jumps in. They do get Ziggs.
They get Kevin. Vol is alive.
Yeah. Invisa's super low. Twin coming in, trying to do something here. The entire red side is low, but they aren't able to get anyone. Belf comes in. He's getting resets, but only gets one. The second one, too much healing coming out of the side of red. And Invisa just says, well, I'm out of here. Manages to get the back off in the bush. But overall, big win for red side. Only losing their support, getting 3. They're going to try and convert that into the Baron.
And we see Elder coming up here, too.
Yeah, could be some interesting timing here. They're low. Invisa might contest.
Invisa does have
Vol and
Smite.
Handsome Top are both low. They're going to get it. The question is, do they just try to run straight to Elder and take it down? Do they try and stop backs? Vol critically. Again, a very greedy recall, but does manage to get it off with the improved speed. 25 seconds. They're not going to be able to just burst it down or anything. But they are going to be a bit later to it, most likely. But Kev actually going bot lane to pick up this lane that's shoving in. Teleport comes mid. Pretty even, we'll see. It's going to be a ward fight to see who can... Oh, 9rain immediately just jumps in onto Belf. They just kill him right away. Depression Main jumps in. Invisa's onto him. He's doing a ton of damage, but here comes Tall Hands at the top. Here comes 9rain again with the reset on the ultimate. And they're just killing everyone. Red is low now. Pyreneal is still here. He's got a lot of poke damage, so they need to dodge these bombs. But overall, it's 3-2 so far for the red side. And Twin frontlining for Kev, it's going to be tough to take him down.
And we do see...
They no longer have 9rain or Vol.
Yeah, no damage right now on red team left up. And Ziggs, I mean, most of the damage on blue team is up right now. But Tall Handsome Top is just going to take objectives with that Baron buff.
Yeah, it's late game Gwen. He's very, very strong, but they don't want to deal with the poke damage and Elder. So they just go ahead and say, okay, well, we'll take what we can. But Pyreneal just jumps in with the ult here.
They are going to
chasing down Tall Handsome Top. Yeah, we'll see. He's going to try and turn this onto him, but he's just got the Zanya. The ult comes in, even with the ult from Senna, he's just going to drop, and that might be Elder. We have 9rain and Valorant coming up in 5 seconds, but they're not going to have one of their stronger carries. Red side here looking, they are not seen. Oh, now they're seen by wards, but they have the pink bush there. it's tough because you can't just dive into a team that's got a Ziggs constantly sieging out there. Great kind of zone control from him. But it looks like they might try to make a fight happen here. Ball does not hit the W. Moch does hit the root, but they don't, again, critically, do not have their 5th player. He has teleport up, so he's alive in 20 seconds. IN Depression Main duking it out for now. 9rain onto the backline, doesn't hit the ult. He's just going to drop. Blue side, they hit the ult onto Duval. He's got the reset from Guardian's Angel, but he's going to go down as well. That might just be the game.
That is
They're
the
just
game.
Gonna run,
the timers are too
mid.
long. Yeah, they're just going to run, take down those inhibitors, and that is going to be the game. They're going to pick up Moch on the way.
Yeah, they kill Moch. It's just Tall Handsome Top versus the world here. He has 1 tower to help him out, but I don't think it's going to be enough. You've got the damage from Ziggs here. Invis is nearly full health. You've got so many things you need to dodge, and they have a strong frontliner. I can't imagine them coming back here. And they get onto him. Kev is just ending the game. Yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote.
Wow.
What a game!
What
Oh man!
a game.
Even at the end, 700 gold difference. I mean, that could have gone either way, but the last team fight going in favor of blue side.
And let's take a look at this damage too. So it looks like Vol with the most damage, but Kev right behind. Who do you think for MVPs?
I gotta give it to Invisa. I think the entire early game was like he had 100% kill restoration for the longest part of the game. They got ahead due to the early map movements. A lot of those really good early pillars. Yeah, I gotta give it to Invisa for sure.
I do feel like Invisa did such a great job of progressing the game early, getting kills in lanes. He sacrificed a lot of farm to do so, but yeah, he really got his laners ahead through a lot of those ganks, some really, really great pillars. I also gotta give it, I mean, honestly, I don't mean to be biased, but Vol kept his team in the game for the entire game. I mean, nearly, which allowed some of his other team members to pick up some kills and get a little stronger off of some bounties. But Vol consistently throughout almost the entire game had the most gold, was doing a ton of damage, and was picking up kills wherever he could. So I gotta give it to him as well. I know that he didn't win, but he really kept that team in for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, some great ults from 9rain too. A lot of really, good team fights in the mid to late game, kind of keeping Red in there. But ultimately, just kind of getting squished out, and that pick onto Tall and top near the end of the game, forcing a 5v4, and they weren't able to take it. So, yeah, great game.
All right, great games overall. Stay posted. We will have one additional game coming up. See you all soon.
Yeah, one more All-Star game, and then I think we might have BPM versus Zoo as well today. So,
All right, so stay posted.
Yes.
We will be back.